Okay, so I finally have started watching Twin Peaks, and I'm actually to the point where I know who the killer is. And I'm so glad that I got to that point because, wow, what a reveal, what a surprise. I was totally shocked. But let's just talk about how I got to this place, because Twin Peaks was something that never meant anything to me before now. And I was a 90s kid, so it wasn't on my radar. I'd never seen an episode like as an adult. I've heard of it, yes, but it really meant nothing to me, but I knew it was popular at the time. So shout out to Ralph for persuading me to watch, and he really had to try really hard. And others of you asked me to watch it, and I was like, I don't know. I typically don't like shows that were actually filmed in the past, and I know it wasn't that long ago, but I struggled when I started watching the show because it seemed so weird to me and just old and strange, and I was like, why is everyone smoking, and what's up with all of the weird like supernatural aspects of the show? But now, like, I can't imagine my life without it, and I actually love the characters so much, and I get it. I get why it's a cult show. I get why it's so popular. I get why people are still obsessed with it 25 years later. I totally get it. So if you were able to watch it when it first aired, I cannot even imagine your excitement for the return of this show, because I'm really excited. I haven't even finished season 2 yet, and I am going to be sad when it's over, but thankfully it's coming back. I know it won't be the same as it was in the past, but how amazing is it that it's returning? Like, I can't even imagine a show that I'm watching today, like 25 years later, returns with some of the original cast. Like, I don't even know how excited I will be by that if that happens. So we need to talk about the title of this video, which is the reveal of Laura Palmer's killer. Now, I love horror shows and mystery shows. If you follow me for a while, you would know that. If not, welcome, because that's my thing, and that's why I made this channel, essentially. So I was trying to figure out the entire time who her killer was, and I found it really difficult, and I had some suspects, and maybe once or twice her dad crossed my mind, but then I just kind of figured he was insane, or he went insane because she died, kind of like I thought her mom was insane, and I kind of marked him off my list. So I was excited because I had no idea. I somehow made it without any spoilers. I just didn't know, and it was nice because I was going to find out without having any idea, any clue who this person was. And I think that episode, I think it was episode 7 of season 2, with the reveal of her dad being the killer, was just everything. Now, I know there's a lot of debate about, was it actually her dad, or was he possessed by Demon Bob? So was it actually Bob? And again, I haven't finished all of season 2, so maybe there's some spoilers that I hope you guys don't tell me about in the comments that might clear things up here. So personally, I mean, I don't know. I don't know which way it's going, but I feel like it was her dad because, I don't know. I mean, he seemed to always be in that character, even when he wasn't killing. He was looking in the mirror and seeing Bob, and I just kind of viewed it as like a split personality, but they may explain it later in this season, season 2, and it may be more like it was actually the demon, you know? But I have to give major props to the actor who played Leland, because his acting in the cell where like the water was everywhere, the sprinkler system was going off, and his complete breakdown before that was, wow, it was just everything. Mad props to him. And I need to talk about how much I love the cast, because I didn't Google anything while I was watching this because I was so afraid of spoilers. So after finding out who the killer was, I started Googling the cast. I wanted to see what they look like now, what they're up to now, who exactly are they. And forgive me, I did not recognize most of these people at all. Like, I didn't know who they were. I knew that Detective Cooper looked familiar to me. And now I know he's Kyle MacLachlan. And I was like, why does he look familiar? And for me, I can make the connection with him when he was on Sex and the City as Charlotte's terrible husband. Despicable guy. I could not stand him on that show. So it's so interesting to me that he plays Detective Cooper, or he played him before that. Detective Cooper is the most lovable person ever. I love him so much. So interesting to Google people. Now, I told you I don't really like older things, but I am a huge musical fan. I love musicals. I've seen most of their original movies, and I've tried to see as many as I can on Broadway or at local theater. So when I was in middle school, they showed us West Side Story one day in class, and I just fell in love, and I know that was filmed a long time ago, many years ago. And I loved Tony, okay? To learn that the guy, Horn, Mr. Horn, was the guy who played Tony was mind-blowing, because I feel like in the show he looked nothing like he did as a younger guy when he played Tony, and he is so talented. I mean, he was amazing as Tony, opposite Natalie Wood. So mad respect for him. I mean, wow, those two reveals were huge for me, just learning more about the actual people. And of course, we have to talk about Shelley Johnson, aka Madgen Amick, who I was introduced to this year through Riverdale, being Betty's mom. And I don't like Betty's mom, and I didn't like that character, but I'm going to have a whole new perspective on her now because I love Shelley Johnson. Now, how amazing and perfect is Shelley Johnson? So I don't think I can hate Betty's mom as much because it's Madgen, and I just love, love, love. She's by far my favorite. But I actually really like Audrey. I think the woman who plays her is beautiful, and when I Googled her, she looks just as beautiful 25 years later. I'm not sure if she's done very much with her career since then, but two of the people who looked very, very different were James and Bobby, so you may already know what they look like now, but it was pretty shocking to me. And sadly, I found out that the guy who played Donna's dad actually died in February of this year, which makes me very sad, but I knew with it being 25 years that have passed since it aired that some people might have died, you know, and things change and people look different. But I'm so excited to watch the rest of season 2. I have many episodes left, so that makes me happy. I try to watch at least one episode every night. And I can't even imagine how amazing season 3 is going to be. And I know Kyle MacLachlan's going to be in it. And I want to Google more about who's going to be in it, but I'm kind of afraid I might find some stuff out that happens after the reveal of Laura's killer. So I've been kind of hesitant about that, but I was just wanting to find out about the cast from the past and kind of wanted to see what they look like now, and was careful not to get too much into the plot. And I don't really want to look too much into what is going on in season 3 because maybe there's some stuff that hasn't happened in season 2 yet that will be resolved or take place in season 3. So I'm trying to be careful with that. I would really respect that if there are things that are huge spoilers that are coming up, that you wouldn't post them in the comments. But I wanted to, you know, talk to you guys about this show. And hopefully you've seen this show if you're watching this, but by chance if you just decided to click on this, I highly recommend it. Of course, you're going to be spoiled now because I told you the main plot of this, who killed Laura, but there's more stuff that goes on after that. And I'm so glad that I invested my time in it, and I love it, and I can't believe it's coming back after 25 years. That just blows my mind. So I'm excited for that. And I'm just curious what your thoughts are, if you're really super excited for season 3, which I will be covering on my channel, and what you thought about the reveal of Laura's killer. Maybe you saw it 25 years ago, maybe you just saw it, maybe you've seen it again for the second time, but what are your thoughts? I thought it was one of the better reveals I'd ever seen in a show, and I just loved everything about it. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you are new to my channel, if you clicked on this video because of Twin Peaks, don't hate me because I struggled with it at first. I mean, maybe if I had grown up in that time period and watched it back then, I would have loved it as much as some of you guys do. Or maybe some of you watched it, recently and still immediately loved it. But I'm glad I stuck with it. I'm covering season 3. And I will be doing stuff leading up to season 3, so if you would like to see some more of that from me, please subscribe, thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. And I cannot wait for our journey into the new edition of Twin Peaks. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Kelly TV. I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of the Kelly TV family. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter so you can keep up with all I'm doing.